Hi there. It's time to start some more seeds. We're a little, according to the calendar and the almanac, we are currently around 14 weeks before our last frost here in the area that I'm living in. But the last couple years, it's gotten warmer sooner, and so and plus my garage usually stays a little warmer than it is outside. So what I'm going to hope is that I'm going to start the 12-week before the last frost date things now, because a lot of them are things that I would like to put out in like pots on my porch, some annuals like some petunias and things. But let me show you. I have quite a few things here. This is going to be both some annuals and some perennials. So I've got some eucalyptus for my cut flower garden. I'm going to actually see if I can get enough of this to grow that I can maybe dry some to put in arrangements that never have an issue or that last forever. Got several different kinds of violas. They're just kind of like pansies, I think basically the same thing. So lots of different pinks and wine colors of those. I thought those were a really pretty color. And these, just for fun, because they're green, I thought that might be an interesting little pop. And then some that are actually called pansies. I got some mix. My sister really likes a lot of the warmer colors, so I thought I would try to grow some for her. This year I'm going to try some annual some annual geraniums, because I thought they might be something that's a little bit beefier for in the centers of the pots. Not sure how I'll like these, because my understanding is you have to do a lot of deadheading with them to keep them looking nice. So we'll see how that goes. And then a whole bunch of petunias. Like all of these are petunias. So we'll see. I really like the petunias style of like the little mini ones that you can buy. I think they're called calabrocha or mini bells. And so I'm not sure how well I'll like these, but I thought it was worth a try. A couple packs of seeds are way cheaper than buying several flats of petunias. So lots of burgundies and plum colors. That's something that I really, these are silver vein, and I'm pretty sure these have like a really pale, it says silvery pink flowers with purple veins, and I thought that sounded gorgeous and should play really nice with a lot of the other ones I have that are more of a purpley color, like these. These, it said they were kind of a shockwave blue or blue denim, so I thought it might be interesting to try to throw some blue colors in there. I got a white one to kind of mix in with the blue, some deep purple. Here's one that says it's supposed to be a lime type of a color. But I think it says it's a delicate lime, and if I remember from the picture on the website, it is a fairly soft looking lime, almost whitish. And all of these all the packets that you see that come like this are from Swallowtail Garden Seeds. I had good luck with a lot of theirs last year. They do tend to have a good amount of information on the packets, but they don't have pictures. But I guess that's what, the internet's for. And then there was one I got that's salmon colored, although I want to think from the picture online it was a little more leaning pink than coral. And there were some of these violas and pansies I got that were, or geraniums even, that had kind of like a corally color. So I thought that might all go together nicely. These are ones that I did last year, and I really liked these. These tended to stay a little smaller with the flowers, which I really liked. And the packets I have that look like this are all from Baker Creek. Their website is rareseeds.com. But if you Google Baker Creek, their website should come up as a Google search, and they are fantastic, at least right now, and I think it has been for a while. Their shipping is no additional cost, which I really like. They also are a great company where they'll throw in, if you order a certain amount of seeds, they'll throw in a free packet, and I've gotten to try some interesting things from them, and they really focus on the organic end of the spectrum when it comes to seeds and all of that. And this is another one, lobelia, that I thought might be a nice filler for, I've never grown this before, but it looked like it would be a nice, with like little airy, I think white flowers maybe. Oh no, this says it's shades of blue, lavender, rose, white, and red. Okay, so there can be lobelia that is white, but this is a variety pack. So we'll see what we get. And it tends to trail. So like when you talk about the thrillers, the big things in your planter pots, your spillers, this I believe would be like in that spiller category. Slash filler. And then I also have some, I'm going to do a few more shallots. My onions and things are coming up great. I'll post a follow-up video on that. And I realized, there's not that much left in here, and I do really like shallots. They're a little smaller than onions. And so for me, with the amount of food that I'm preparing at one time, this usually ends up being perfect for something that's only like a 2 or 3 servings. So I want to maybe grow some more of those. And then I have some perennials that I'm going to start now too. I've got some grass. It's the blue grama style, and the seed heads look like little grasshoppers sort of like bouncing around. So I want to get some more grasses in my flower beds. So I'm going to try growing some of my own. I've got a few types of salvia. Tends to be a very hardy plant and doesn't need a whole lot of, but I have to say most salvia I don't like the smell of. So those are definitely going to be things that I'll put where I can enjoy the look, not so much the smell. And then I've got a few coneflower or echinacea seeds that I'm going to start. Did not have super good luck with the mellow yellows that I tried last year. So I did put some in my winter sowing in a container outside, and I'm going to try the rest here inside. I've had this set of seeds in the refrigerator for the past few weeks because these are things that might need cold stratification. So I've also got some combos of echinacea coneflowers with different colors. This is the Paradiso Dwarf. So a little bit shorter ones that I thought might be nice to mix in towards the more front edge of a border or of a flower bed. And these packets all are from a company, here it is, Botanical Interests, and their seed packets I just love. They always have these really pretty drawings. They have tons and tons of information. The packets that are sealed, like as a traditional packet, you can open up and there's all this other information inside. This type, for some reason, they put the seeds in this little packet inside and just kind of glued it on there. But any of the other stuff you get from them is kind of sealed up. I got a couple packets of those because they don't come with a ton of seeds. And then I've got a couple different kinds of lavender. I know sometimes people say lavender can be really difficult, but I will say that I did several jugs of it in my winter sowing last year and had great results, particularly with the English tall. Got lots of plants from my winter sowing. So I did put some out in the winter sowing, but I'll also try some inside to see if I can get them growing earlier. And then Munstead. Munstead seemed to do pretty well for me also. And then I've got some perennial lobelia that is called cardinal flower, and it says that they're a type that hummingbirds love, and so also it can handle a lot of moisture, and I've got a couple spots that tend to stay on the damper side, so I thought that might be an interesting one to try. I've never had that before. Same kind of idea here with this. This is, I think you say Chilone, pink turtle head, and so it has like turtle head shaped flowers with rose faces, which I like things in that color palette for my flower beds. Also a soggy boggy soil, so hopefully that could go in some places. And it also likes even deep shade, which tends to be a lot of times where you've got your boggy soil. And then Virginia is another one that I'm going to try growing. Most of these I also did some container outside, and I believe this, I think, was maybe another one that doesn't mind some shade and doesn't mind being a little on the more damp side. We'll see. I'll have to go back and look at this stuff, but I thought it was a pretty flower, one that I wanted to add to my flower beds. And then I'm going to try for the first time this year some foxglove, and it just looks so pretty. I can't remember. It's a tender perennial, so I don't know that it'll last beyond this year, but I thought it might be fun just to see. I want to think maybe this was one of the types of flowers that they say will self-seed itself and come back. So this is the seeds that I'm getting ready to start today. quite a few, going to have quite a few trays. In fact, I'm not going to even have enough humidity domes to go over top of them, so we'll have to see how that goes. I had ordered some more humidity domes, but they were back ordered. So we'll try starting some seeds today that don't get that kind of coverage on them. And by the way, quick side note as a tip, this is how I get my seeds ready for when I'm going to do seed starting. I go ahead and make at least one of the little seed labels, and I use a garden marker so that I don't have to worry about UV rays when these go outside if I'm going to keep them labeled, or inside water getting on them and it eventually kind of wearing off. This is a new one that I got, but I think it's similar to the ones I've gotten before. It has a little bit of a finer tip, which I like when I have to write something that has a lot of words on it. And then I also, because I'm a total nerd, I like spreadsheets. So I make a spreadsheet. This is kind of a piece of the spreadsheet where I've put in all of the different flowers or seeds that I've purchased for this season. I put in what week before last frost that they should be started, whether it's a perennial or an annual. And then this year I added a column for how many cells I thought I might want to start seeds in. And honestly, I did this because I knew I had way a lot of seeds that I wanted to start. And so I needed to see if I needed to order more trays and things. So I'm trying to be a little very intentional in collecting some data on this year, and so that for next year I can then refine this and know exactly a lot better how much to start of each thing, and whether or not this year it went well with these experiments with all of these things like the geraniums and the pansies and the petunias. So now it's time to go out. I'm going to fill up my trays. I'm going to make sure that I moisten the soil. Not soil. This time I'm using seed starting mix because I'm starting seeds. So you don't want to use potting soil for that. You want the lighter, fluffier seed starting mix. So I have, I think, some other videos where I've shown you how I actually go through the process of getting the seed starting mix ready, putting it in the trays, putting the seeds in, and then I cover with a light layer of vermiculite. Always read your seed packet to see if the seeds should be on top of the soil or if you need to put them down a little bit depending on the type of plant. Some do need a little bit of depth. And then I'll put humidity domes on as many of my trays as I can, get them under the lights, and cross our fingers and hope that we get lots of little baby seedlings. And I'll give you an update in a couple of weeks when I see how they're going. Thanks for joining me today here at Aunt Susan's Garden.